Haven't heard from me in a few days. Actually, I've had a fever for a couple. It's just, I don't know if it's the flu or what. It's just kind of it's a fever, and fevers wipe me out. I can fight off most every other symptom. But when I get a fever, it's a fever. I can't, my regimen doesn't seem to work on a fever. So I don't know if this fever is giving me more clarity or causing me to think, rendering this attempt as an acute waste of time. But this is about, I've been mulling and debating with myself and just restless, and because, this is about enduring the grief that inevitably comes with a breakup, a personal relationship breakup. And this one, for me, has been, I think the main reason it's such a problem is because I was left questioning everything. What was true? How much of it was real and how much of it was imagined? And I'm not talking about me being hallucinogenic, her personality, or me, fantasizing about something that happened that didn't happen. I'm talking about when you're in the actual moment with the person, day to day, hour by hour, week by week, you're in this physical proximity with this other person, you're spending time with this person, you're going places with this person, you're shopping, you're watching TV, you're making dinner, whatever it is you're doing, and questioning whether, in retrospect, how much of this, from his point of view, from the other person's point of view, was actually happening. Were you just a space filler? Was I just a space filler? Did I actually mean anything at all? Could the conversations that we were having have been had with anybody? A coworker or, somebody in the elevator? I've had so much self-doubt since. The crux of the problem is the reason I'm still attached and I can't let it go is because I never got the answers that I sought. I was never sure that what I was being told was the truth. I was never sure that his explanations for things were believable, for behaviors and little bits of evidence that I would find that to me were evidence. And when you don't have the answers, when you can't get them, you sort of are left forever wondering. And if you're in a state of continuous unanswered question, how do you write that off? The serenity prayer is about accepting the things we cannot change and having the wisdom to know the difference between what we can change and what we can't. But in this case, it was 30 months of life, energy spent and energy devoted to another person who may have just... I question myself. Where was my judgment? Am I such a dumb bunny? Such a completely gullible and oblivious creature? Such that I could have spent that much time with one other person, trying to meet that person's needs and trying to, show love to this other person, and months later I'm still wondering. How will I ever know? So how do you deal with that? How do you move on? How do you move on? It's easier when the person has committed an infidelity and you catch them. You have hard facts. They've committed some kind of crime, or you actually can prove everything that you wonder about. But in this case, I was never able to prove anything. I just had these feelings and these suspicions and this gut level insecurity that I couldn't trust this person. And I guess I'll never know. I'll never know. It's absolutely maddening. So while we move on, I mean, we spend time with other people and we put our energy into projects and other things. On the surface, I've moved on, but when I'm alone, having a fever in my house, all I can think about is this. Who was this person that I spent all my time? Why did I devote so much of my energy to this one other person? And how will I ever know which parts of it were real and which parts of it were just all fake and all just wow. I'm not sure I'll broadcast this video because I don't know how much help it's going to be to anybody. And usually I broadcast if I think that something I've said is going to be of value. I don't know what I have to offer in this one that's of any value. And nobody responds. I don't get any comments. So I never know if anybody's gleaned anything. But this is where I'm at on a Wednesday night with a fever in January. Still wondering, how many times did he lie to me? How many times should I have known?